All right, welcome to the Beer and Bullshit Show. I'm your host, Chris Bennett, and this is episode 70. So I have the always wonderful and beautiful Amy Strong in the house. And before we actually get to probably the bullshit part of the show, Amy, what you got with you tonight?
Actually, I'm gonna look it up here in a minute, but it's from a local brewery called Center of the Universe Brewing, which is just north of Richmond. The town actually calls itself Center of the Universe, which is kind of funny. But it's a Belgian quad that is aged in red wine barrels. And it's the first time I've ever had it, but it's really good. I have no idea what the ABV is on it. It doesn't say on the bottle for some reason, which I think is odd. But by the taste of it, it's pretty boozy. So I'm going to look it up here on my phone in a second. But you can definitely taste the red wine in it.
Wow. With red wine?
Yeah, it's a Belgian quad that was aged in red wine barrels. So, and you know, most Belgian quads are usually high in ABV anyway.
Right. I was going to say that's probably pretty high in ABV too.
Yeah.
I've got something here that I had. What was it? I think it was on Super Bowl. I think I had this beer on Super Bowl. Either Super Bowl or the AFC Championship game. I forgot which one. It's from the Smokestack series from Boulevard. And it's a bourbon barrel quad. Ale aged in bourbon barrels with cherries. I've got one left.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
It was delicious. Even though this one's particularly a year old now, it's still a 12% beer. So it's still pretty good. In fact, if I aged this, for another couple years, it would still be really well.
How's the cherry in it?
The cherry isn't overbearing. It's just right.
Cool.
So it was a really, really, really good beer. I really liked it. So
what was the ABV on that one?
12%.
Through the roof, I figured.
So, and it's not a typical bomber. It's a 750.
Yeah, I went with the really big beer.
So, right now I'm kind of I'm sipping on a Guinness. Since it's kind of a celebration of the St. Patrick's Day, which is, I know it's tomorrow, but I have to. The wife is going to be cooking corned beef and
corned beef, cabbage, red potatoes.
Corned beef, cabbage, potatoes, and she's going to marinate the freaking corned beef in Guinness.
Ooh, that'll be good.
And you know what? The first year I actually got corned beef that she actually made was 2 years ago. I was working in election polls for the primaries. In fact, it was in 2014 actually, and she found a recipe for for the corned beef. So
it's good. I cook it a lot throughout the year. I love it, but I'm a quarter Irish, so I grew up eating stuff like that. But I think I thought about doing corned beef and cabbage tomorrow, but instead I'm gonna do shepherd's pie.
Okay. All right. I gotta handle something real quick. I'll be right back.
I am looking up the ABV on my beer right now. Let's see. I'm going on my Untapped to look up the ABV of this beer I'm drinking.
So,
You're on the Untapped.
yes, I am on your Untapped.
You can see all my nummies that I'm drinking all the time.
And you know what? I'm really bad about that. I'm really bad about the Untapped because I every time I drink a beer, I don't record it until like later.
Yeah, see, sometimes I forget to, or sometimes I just purposely don't put up what I'm drinking if it's not new, because I don't want to be redundant and I don't want for everyone to realize just how often I do enjoy my beers. Anyone who didn't appreciate craft beer that looked at my Untapped would probably think I was an alcoholic. This is 10.6, so not quite as high as I thought it was, but
Right.
pretty damn good. Confirm my brew. Oh, I'll have the Darren Bullshit show my picture.
So
Believe in you'll be all right.
yeah,
I'm totally cracking myself up right now because I'm such a freaking dork.
I don't know if and for our viewers, since I deleted the last week's show, I got a promotion. I'm going to be selling beer. And
you're on my Untapped now, just so you know.
Oh, okay. I'm going to be at the first of the month. I'll be selling beer. When I get back from vacation, and my company, we have a huge variety of craft beer. So, and that's what the focus is this year: is the craft beer and the imports and FMBs, which is like flavor malt beverages. So
that's pretty cool.
So yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
I wouldn't even. Well, yeah, I mean, I can kind of see that. But
I'm nervous because I'm not sure what I'm getting myself into. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm excited because I get a big pay raise.
Hell yeah.
And they want us to, in the next couple of years, to make some major money. I'm not talking like six figures or anything, but like the mid 5 figures. So, which will make me look marketable if I decide to move, which I probably will eventually move, and it will make me marketable for other for like microbreweries or other distributors. But I'll tell you one thing: I will never, ever, ever, ever work for a distributor of Budweiser. I will never, ever work for them. Never.
Yeah, we've got our InBev operations here is Brown Distributing, and they well, obviously just like everyone else. I mean, they control such a huge part of the market.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't think I'd want to work for them either. But I don't like working for big companies. I never have. I've worked mainly for small businesses pretty much all my life.
I don't mind, Miller Coors or some of the smaller independent, you know, distributors and stuff like that. But I kind of enjoy Miller Coors. My Miller Coors is a distributor. They do a really good job, and uh, we try to get what we can get in. I mean, it's all that scarcity bullshit, where, you know, if we run out, we run out. It's not like we can snap our fingers and say, hey, it's there. But when we run out, we run out. So
I don't know how it works with Budweiser, but I mean, do they carry right? Say a Budweiser distribution company, okay, like ours here. Would they carry craft beer as well? I mean, not their own craft beer like Goose Island or Lagunitas or whatever. Would they actually carry real still craft beer?
I know the one here in my area, they carry some craft beer, but not a lot, because they're trying to wean themselves off the craft beer that's not owned by InBev. Okay, because they're going to be getting the incentive program. Okay, but one of the guys at one of the distributors said that they don't have brands like Blue Moon, Corona, Sam Adams, Sierra Nevada. Now, if they had those kind of brands, they would not take the incentive program, because the incentive program gives them like an extra $500,000, I think they said, a year. So, and Blue Moon here, we make probably about between $500,000 and $1 million a year just distributing Blue Moon. I mean, it's very popular here. So
I remember when I thought that was like one of the greatest beers, when it first came out. I loved it, because I was used to drinking Bud Light, Pabst Blue Ribbon, unless I went to a specialty place, because you couldn't just go to the grocery store and buy something decent. Like now, I can go to the grocery store and buy a DuClaw or Flying Dog or Dogfish Head or Hardywood, any of the local stuff. But it wasn't like that 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Right.
So, and the whole idea, like with the glasses and everything else, to me everything was supposed to be in a pint glass until a few years ago. It took me a little while to learn. Even the first microbrewery that I really visited when I very first turned 21, I was in the Army at Fort Campbell, and which is Clarksville, Tennessee. And there was something like, I don't remember, I think it was like Wild Horse or something like that was in Clarksville. I don't know if they're still around, but they brewed a really good vanilla beer, and they would make black and tan pitchers with it, with Guinness, So I mean, that was kind of like my first little experience with it. But yeah, I mean, I kind of fell in love, but I had to go to places like that to get it. I couldn't just go to the grocery store, I didn't know. I don't know what Total Wine was carrying back then, but I mean, I hadn't acquired a taste for wine yet. So that was good, The St. Patrick's Day episode. I would expect there to be more drunk people here. At least no one showed up with green beer.
That's true. And we just had our St. Patrick's Day parade this last weekend. And it's like the biggest drunken fest here in Springfield. The bars, that's probably their busiest day of the year, or one of their busiest days of the year. And they block off downtown, and they just have at it. And I'm like, I've taken my family down there like twice in like 11 years, almost 11 years I've lived here in Springfield. And it's like, nah, I ain't taking my kids down here ever again, because it just gets crazy. It's crazy. It's
We have
crazy.
the same thing in Richmond, and it's called Shamrock Block. But I remember I used to go back when I was, single before I had kids and everything, and it was always fun and a good time. But I mean, I was one of those drunk people, and I tried to bring my kids. Oh gosh, I guess maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Oh, I was pregnant with my youngest daughter, so it was about 5 years ago, and
Okay.
it was the idiocy. Well, one, I just couldn't take it. I'm not that tolerant of people these days. And the fact that I was sober and pregnant and it was nothing but a bunch of stupid drunk frat kids. I don't know, we left. I didn't want to be there. Haven't been back, not going back. If we do anything to celebrate our Irish heritage, we go to the Celtic Festival, which, obviously there's, lots of people there drinking. They've got scotch tastings and things like that. But for some reason, at those events, you actually get Irish people, and they can handle their liquor.
Yeah.
Not like the 20-year-old college kid. There's always fights and people getting arrested, and I don't know. It's just a pain in the ass. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So, St. Patrick's Day has gotten to be really annoying to me. I know I was bitching about it on Facebook the other day. All these people and all their, silly green stuff and dressing like jackasses and acting like fools. Man, go down to Applebee's and drink your green beer and just go away.
Yeah.
I'm getting to be a snobby little bitch in my old age.
You're just a couple of years younger than me, so hey, if we
How
can't
old are
go
you?
beyond, huh?
How old are you?
I'll be 44 in August.
Oh shit! I don't know why I thought you were like younger than me. I don't know. I'm
I
serious.
wish
I really did. I thought you were younger than me. I'll be 42 in a few months. Well, I'll be 42 in the fall.
right. So, and the wifey just turned 40 a couple of weeks ago. So,
I don't know. I'm liking my 40s better than my 30s.
I've now that getting into a career instead of just a job. All right, maybe I might feel a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll like it obviously a lot better once I get back home to my house. I mean, the last couple of years have been a little bit crazy personal life-wise, but like me, myself, I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable in my skin at 41. I'm okay. Comes
Hey,
with age.
and you know what? You know what? How you feel is the most important thing. So
Yeah, I don't feel like an old lady.
I just I don't know. I hit 30 and I'm like, okay. I hit 40, I'm like, I've got like these 2 degrees I'm not using, and when is it going to be my turn? And if this keeps going better for me, I'm going to hit 50. I'm going to be like, oh, it's okay. It's not bad.
I didn't take 30 well at all. I really didn't. My 30th birthday was, I was drunk on Bushmills and I got arrested. Last time I got arrested. It's been a while. I've been a good kid. But, yeah. Don't do that anymore.
I won't hold it against you.
Everybody spent a night in the pokey at least once, I think. If you haven't really lived. Or you've really lived and you just haven't gotten caught.
I guess I haven't lived because I've never been stuck in a pokey. I've bailed a few people out of the pokey, but I've never been stuck in the pokey.
Then you've probably really lived and just not got caught.
I probably did things that I should have been busted for, but that's another reason why I could never be a law enforcement officer. Is just like, I did that when I was younger too. I can't arrest you for that.
I could never be a cop because I would never. Well, one, I couldn't be a road pirate. Two,
Right.
you know how I feel about victimless crime. I wouldn't want to arrest anybody. I'd never really get any work done unless like someone killed like the neighbor's dogs or something like that. You know?
Right. I mean, unless if you're like beating your old lady or, murdering, your next door neighbor or, or something like that, I really couldn't arrest anybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
even if they were just hanging out in the courtyard, smoking marijuana, I mean, I wouldn't care. I mean, I wouldn't arrest anybody.
Yeah. Oh, you're pissing in the street? Oh, okay. Make sure that you got home or something like that, or or you're smoking a joint. Oh, okay. Then I'm just gonna leave. Or something like that. If you're not like committing any crimes if you're not committing any crimes against anybody, I'm not gonna arrest you. Shit.
No, unless you're hurting someone else with their property, there's no reason, and it's funny, the little town that I live in, we have 8 police officers. And one of them is also a councilman. So he obviously knows me pretty well because I go to all the council meetings and I'm really, really outspoken in town. And my town's only 3,600 people, so it's real small. And whenever I go in anywhere, like normally, like being here, the county that I'm in right now is huge. I think it's, well, not huge, but I'd say it's probably close to 400,000 people. And if I even see a cop, like riding through the neighborhood, I'm all paranoid. I'm like, what is he doing? Like, what is he looking for? Like I know I'm not doing anything wrong, but I'm automatically suspicious of them. But when I'm in my town, I walk into a restaurant and the cops are sitting at the table and they're like, "Hi, Amy, how's it going? How's the house?" And I'm like, "Oh, everything's great," and blah, 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 blah. We just sit down and chit chat for a bit, and they're completely cool. It's a total different mentality, I guess, being in the country. When I moved down there, the very first thing I did was made sure I introduced myself to all 8 of them and the mayor. I'm like, oh, I want to make sure I know everyone down here. Because you don't just move to a town that small and just fit in right away. I had family and stuff
there. Yeah. I lived in a for 2 years. I lived in this small town. Small like your small town, but it was about a town of about 12,000 people up in northeast Colorado, and a lot of quite a few African Americans were moving up there because they were getting jobs at the it was just built, like the prison and stuff up there. And with the state hiring, they have to hire so many women, they have to hire so many blacks, they have to hire so many minorities and stuff like that. That's how they get the contracts and stuff. Even after the prison was finished, they had to hire so many women, so many men, so many African Americans, Latinos, and quite a few blacks had moved up there. Well, it was one of the last bastions of the Klan. Before before the prison was built, and the state made a deal. It's like, look, we know that you still got Klan members on the council, all right? So if you really want this prison, all right, and you want all these jobs, guess what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to, get rid of all the Klan members on the city council. So the people are like, we need these jobs. Klan members gotta go.
So, wow. There's a rumor here, actually, in Virginia, and I'm not going to name the name of the town, but it's out way, way west of here, probably 5 hours west of me. But it's been rumored, and I've heard it all my life, that town is still run by the Klan. And out there in that neck of the woods, it really wouldn't surprise me, but it kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of, really?
Well, anyway, I moved up there like probably about 4 years after they they kind of, wipe the Klan out of their, political system or whatnot. And I moved up there, and I moved in. Me and my buddy, I met this guy at one of the bars, and I worked with him. He was the Latino guy, and he was just a really cool guy. He was like one of my bestest friends, and we wound up moving into an apartment together because he was trying to get out of his grandma's house and trying to be independent and stuff. And I had just moved there, and I had I had a job and everything, working with him and stuff. So what happened was we moved into this apartment, which was an okay place, but as soon as we moved in, I shit you not, probably 4 houses went up for sale.
Wow.
And I don't know if you've ever heard of this rapper called Afroman.
Yeah, I think I have actually.
He has a song out that says I think I forgot which the title was, but he said the Afroman rode through the white land, houses went up for sale. And it was exactly what I had to deal with. Because once we moved into this apartment, it was like no longer than like 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, like our neighbors just around us were putting up signs up for sale. And as soon as we moved out, like 6 months later, their signs went down.
That's bizarre. Well, I don't know. I kind of figured the same thing with me though, moving to like my small town with the way I look. You wouldn't really expect, I guess, like when we were talking about with me being on the Chester County Committee before we started the show. I a lot of times I think I expect that negative reaction from people, and my town is about. I think it's almost exactly 50-50. With a real small population of Hispanics, but as far as white and black, it's pretty equal. And I don't know, I didn't get it there. I haven't had anybody really be negative to me in town at all. I really wasn't expecting it, because I did buy, I bought one of the biggest houses in town. Obviously, you see my house, and but I don't know if it was because, they were all just that cool, or maybe because I bought, a big rundown historical property and, fixed it back up, or, the fact that I just walked up to them and, made sure. I mean, I walked up and down my street with my family and introduced myself to everyone in all the houses, just at random, knock, 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 hi, I'm your new neighbor, just wanted to come and meet you. And there's a guy a couple doors down from me that is a super liberal Buddhist, older gentleman. Wonderful though. We disagree on everything politically, but he's wonderful. The first time I went to his house, he collects martini glasses, and every single day at 5 o'clock he has martini time. So with his immense martini glass collection, he insisted that we have martini glass and start coming down for martini time. So it was I don't know, it's such a weird town. I don't know. I'm glad I haven't really had to deal with too much of that. Even when I lived in Richmond downtown, I lived in kind of the nicer college area, I guess, for a little while. But I lived in a really small place and couldn't afford anything bigger and nicer. But up near where the courts are at, which are like the the projects, they had a lot of older houses and stuff that had been renovated, and I could get the same place up here, the same price up there with me. Pretty much the same amount of money. And so I moved up there, and I was the only white person for 2 blocks, and he was, between the two of us, we were the only white people for probably 6 to 8 blocks around us, because it was a really dangerous neighborhood. We'd hear shootings and stuff all the time. Right? It was awful. But the only people that ever spoke to me in that town or in that part of town were my neighbors whose house was attached to mine. But like everyone else, I was, this weird, crazy white girl that moved up there. They're like, "The hell is she doing here?" I like it here. Can I stay? But I stayed there for a while. My house is safe and everything, but I got tired of hearing the shootings and stuff, and then my vehicles kept getting broken into for like change out of the, because it was like literally next to like the worst. Actually, they did a thing on how they do like the 10 most dangerous neighborhoods in America, how they make the list.
Yeah.
Just a couple years ago, I think mine was number 8. So it's when it compares up there with like Chicago, Detroit, New Orleans, it's a pretty shitty neighborhood.
Right.
Hang on one second. My son is upset that his father is taking up the entire bed.
Wow.
Well, he sleeps with them, so. And he's a big dude, so my son gets frustrated. He doesn't like it. He's ready to move back home and
Sure.
get his own room back, but he doesn't have to share with his dad anymore. So did you see the Florida ballots where they left Donald Trump off?
No, I didn't.
There were quite a few counties down there. It came across my Facebook feed because, as you can imagine, I have a lot of Trump supporters on my friends list. Well, I have, I guess, a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters too. Luckily, not a lot of Austin Peterson supporters. A couple of John McAfee supporters though, which is kind of funny. But
yeah,
anyway, they all had their panties all in a wad, and I guess Trump won anyway. I don't know how the hell he's doing it, but
yeah. Last weekend was the Illinois Libertarian Party convention, and I ran into Mr. Austin Peterson.
You've met him, haven't you? Before that,
I met him at a Port Fest 4 years ago.
Okay.
And he remembered me because we were drinking beers at Port Fest, and that's how we met. We were I was actually at the same table as what was it? It was like Angel Clark and Corey Moore and Angel Keaton, Angel's husband, and a couple other people. And with
Angel who?
What was that?
Angel who?
Angel Clark.
I love her, yeah.
And her husband and Corey Moore and me and my wife and Angela Keaton, we were all there and just talking and stuff like that. And this was right before Austin Peterson produced the show that Judge Napolitano was on. So.
Okay, see, I met him 2009 CPAC.
Oh, CPAC?
Mm-hmm. So the year that we all rolled in there was Ron Paul and I don't know if you remember like the Ladies of Liberty Alliance.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we all, went to our little party and stuff together afterwards. He was there and we were all drinking. And I don't know. I mean, he seemed like kind of a cool guy when I first met him. But, I mean, okay, a little douchey. But, I'm a jerk. But after he worked for Judge Napolitano, it seems like something at Fox News, it just rubbed off on him a little bit too much, to where I don't think he should be on the Libertarian.
Well, I told him that, his views and my views don't actually kind of match because I think, for the most part, the Constitution is just bullshit when it comes down to it. I'm more reliant on like the Bill of Rights. I'm kind of more of a Bill of Rights kind of guy. Um, and that the way Colorado kind of just said, we're not going to fight you because you do not adhere to the non-aggression principle. I think that kind of, I think that was kind of, in my opinion, that was kind of shady uh, with the Colorado Party because he is running as a libertarian. Um, Let the people decide whether or not, kind of thing. So,
Oh, if they're asking Austin not to come to their state, not to be on the ticket, it would be very similar to the Republicans, which I know a lot of them want to say this, telling Trump not to be on their ticket because they don't feel like he maybe follows their values all the way. Because you've got your social conservatives here, the libertarians, the non-aggression principle, or anti-war stances, stance on Israel, whatever. Obviously there's some philosophical differences between the candidates and the party, but I'm with you. I mean, if you're gonna vote, let them decide. Personally, for me, well, I'm not voting for my next ruler. I'm just not doing it. I'm not voting for any of the assholes. If I'm voting for anyone, it would be for John McAfee because he's funny, and I think he's kind of gangster.
He is kind of hilarious, but I think what it comes down to is that I think, and I told Austin this, I was like, go for somebody who is like safe, comfortable. They're not going to go for someone who's like loud and boisterous, and that's how Aaron Russo lost back in 2004. Is because he was loud and boisterous and energetic and stuff like that, and that's how we lost to Michael Bernard back in 2004, and um, which was probably a good thing that Aaron Russo lost in 2004 is because Aaron Russo came out with a documentary called America, Freedom to Fascism, which he
I believe
produced,
I saw that actually.
which he produced right before he died. So, I mean, things work out mysteriously. We don't understand why, but they work out. I think it worked out just fine. So,
I think if libertarians want to run at this point, and obviously anybody can run for anything they want to, but I like seeing them run for smaller offices. I think if more libertarians are in smaller offices, it might be a little bit easier to get that out into the bigger population.
and I've advocated the fact that we should just not run any presidential candidate 1 year, just one time, and focus all our energy on smaller races, local races, in every state, local races.
That's pretty much the only place that I do place any of my energy these days is in town, because there's nothing that I can do on the national level that will make any sense. Working for, with Ron Paul and Campaign for Liberty and stuff for, 8, 9 years, however long it was, and just, being, you can see the way the establishment pushes people out. I mean, everything on a national level is rigged. It's not going to change. Change your own backyard, and then, well, I mean, at least you've got your own. You have the potential of your own little utopia, anyway.
Right.
At least until they roll in the National Guard.
Okay, I'll be right back. But unfortunately, my strategy on the whole, we should really concentrate on local races strategy and not run a presidential candidate has come into a lot of roadblocks because a lot of people are like, well, that's our biggest recruitment for the Libertarian Party and is during presidential years because we're going to be on all 50 ballots. And then I'm like, wouldn't it be a lot better to take those resources and just make it more local? I mean, you could probably recruit 3 to 4 times more people if you ran more local candidates than you did like a presidential candidate.
Well, another thing with that idea is you have a lot of people in the community that start off as either a Democrat or Republican or moderate, whatever they like to call themselves. And once you put a libertarian in office and they realize how much simpler and freer their life is, how, whatever their taxes are and things like that are being changed, fees being changed, general theft from the government, it introduces them to the libertarian principle. So you have a lot more opportunity on the local level to make, if you can get a libertarian candidate elected and have them do what they're supposed to do, act right, you're going to change a lot of people's, minds on what they think it is, because most people think it's just a bunch of pot smoking hippies, or anarchists, or, when I say anarchists, I mean in the Molotov cocktail throwing sense. They don't understand the differences between the two. But when you can do it on a local level and you expose people to it, they see that, it works. Then come the next bigger election, they're less likely to go back to their Republican, Democrat, their two-party system. They've been exposed to something else, and they've been exposed to it close to home. And it opens up a whole new world. But I think the only way that anything can change is really to start from the ground up and trying to hit, guys running here for governor that have never held office, guys running for president that have never done anything nobody's ever heard of, other than maybe working on a Fox News show. Big fucking deal, no, it start small. Rome wasn't built in a day.
When I ran for school board down in this town about 90 miles south of me, people were just like, why should I sign the petition? My kids don't go to public schools. I go, but you still pay the public school tax, though.
Yeah.
And they're like, and I was like, you still have the right to vote for whoever you think is going to spend your money more wisely, okay? Even though you don't send your kids to public school. And after about probably 5 minutes, they're like, you know what, you're right. And they started signing my signatures. That was my focus. So I'm like, who do you want to be more steward of your money? Okay. Even though you're not sending your kids to the public school, you're still being forced to pay that tax. So,
It's true. It's kind of like what we talked about the other day in Virginia, how the governor decided that homeschool kids, even though, it passed a while ago that homeschool kids could participate in public school sports.
Right.
And he's like, no, you can't. But, the good thing is, we've got a great homeschooling association in Virginia. And so they've got legal teams, they've got lobbyists, no matter, how you feel about that. But, that have been putting this together for years. And then here comes old Terry. And I call him, he's our carpetbagger. Messing up our little system we had going on down here. But I don't know.
And you know what? I think that, if the homeschooler, the parents are still paying the school tax, they should be able to have the right to send their kids to play athletic sports at the local high school or the junior high or the elementary school. I mean,
I think it's going to end up going to court over equal access is what I think it's going to come down to. And I think that's one of the legal teams here is probably looking at, because I've seen a few people talking about, trying to take some legal action to try to change it. So, but I mean, it's equal access. It's the same thing as, I guess the way back in the day, taxation without representation. I mean, you're paying your taxes for something, but you can't utilize it.
Right. It is an equal access question. Okay. It's almost like back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s when African Americans couldn't attend public schools. They still paid the tax. Okay. Why not allow them into the schools? They're still paying the taxes.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's just a new segregation. That's all.
I gotta plug on I'm outside again tonight.
So, we have at my distributor. We have all these freaking what is it? Newcastle came out with a variety pack. It came out with the regular Newcastle in it, and they've got the Pale Ale and the IPA, and we got a whole ton of it that we could not get rid of. And
was it any good?
The problem was that it came out last summer, and the IPA is okay. I mean, even now, because the IPA is always good, past the date. Okay, depending on what the ABV is on it. But like the Newcastle is like, it tastes like old. It's not like a fresh Newcastle.
Yeah.
And the Pale Ale is okay, but the Indian Pale Ale that they made is okay, but it was just like, we need to get rid of this, and these are your suggestions for the Christmas beer that we handed out. So I was like, I'll take a case. So I'm finally finishing it off. So
should I say I'm sorry?
No, because I've got like a case and a half of freaking Blue Moon sitting in the corner, and I'm like, yeah, that's the beer that I'm like, yeah. If I'm really poor, I'll drink Blue Moon.
Exactly.
So I've been tapping into the Blue Moon a little bit just to get rid of it, but I bought some other stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, if I had free beer around, even if it was shit beer, if I'm out in the yard doing stuff or messing with the vehicles or cleaning up, just doing random stuff where you don't want to get drunk and it doesn't really matter, you could be drinking beer or drinking water, because I don't drink soda or anything. And yeah, I guess it would do in a pinch.
Yeah. So I got in preparation for the show and beyond. I got a pick of six from my favorite liquor store, which I had to resign from because my distributor, since I'm going to be a sales guy, okay, they kind of frown on you actually working for them and a liquor store as a sales guy.
Like
so,
a
conflict of interest, right? So, and she was a little disappointed because I was actually doing work there, which, you know, and stuff like that. So I got this. I've been eyeing it, but I was afraid that I didn't want it. I wanted to try one before I got any more. The New Belgium side trip. It's the Belgian. So I got that. I got the early riser. It's from Boulevard. It's
Your audio is breaking up really bad again.
a porter. Let's see. I've got. Hold on a second. Is that any better?
That's better.
Keep talking.
I need to get a set of super cool headphones like that for the show. Super cool headphones and big microphone like Jim Bab. I'll be set.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably invest in one probably over the summer or something.
I just want to be like the cool kids, you know.
So it's a cocoa brown.
Oh, okay.
And I got one from Smutty Nose. It's a dirty, hot brown ale. I think I had this one last year, and it was pretty good.
You said it was from Boulevard?
Well, no, that's Smutty Nose.
Muddy Nose, okay.
And then I got this one from Sierra Nevada. It's the Orthovis. It's a ghost. It's a ghost. And then the last one that I got was it's a new brewery from Michigan. It's called Shorts Brew. It's a brown ale. So.
Nice.
And I still got a whole bunch of the stuff that I bought earlier this month. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to be buying much beer. Even though I found that Firestone Walker has what was it? It was a variety pack of some of my favorite Firestone Walker beers. So I'll have to go out to Bloomington during vacation and go do a Benny's run and go there and get some because they don't distribute down here.
Yeah, we get a little bit of Firestone Walker here, but not not like you guys get. And I'm hearing myself on an echo. I don't know if you're hearing me on an echo.
You've got a slight echo. So
Let me try again. Yeah. There's two of me.
which isn't bad.
Oh shit, I've been cloned.
Oh no, I've been cloned. Yeah, but your husband wouldn't complain. He'd be like, two Amy's?
No, he'd be like, man, fuck this, I'm checking out. He hates me.
Oh, I don't think he hates you.
It's a long story, but you don't understand what it's like to live with me. I'm all fun and games once a month.
You can't be that bad. Come on.
I guess I'm not that bad as long as you act right.
That's right. As long as you act right. Yeah, you know. So,
I'm a bit of a type A, in case you never noticed.
hey, did you hear that Oscar Blues bought Cigar City?
No, I did not.
Yes,
But
they bought Cigar City.
I don't know if I like that. I like Cigar City. I don't know if I want them merging with anyone else or being bought by anyone else.
Well, there was a rumor that Cigar City was going to sell out to InBev.
Yeah, that's even worse.
That would have been even worse. But Oscar Blues is growing. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a good thing because I'd rather have Oscar Blues than freaking InBev.
Well, yeah, if they're going to sell out, I'd much rather it go that way.
Yeah. And maybe...
I don't understand how they'd be selling them. Gosh, dude, even up here, everyone loves them.
Oh, Cigar City?
Yeah.
Yo, I can't get it here, but maybe that's the next thing is that maybe I might be able to get within the next 6 months to a year, I might be able to get some Cigar City out here.
Yeah, well, I mean, they make all the beer for Guarbecue every year.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, the odorous ale and everything else. Shit, I wish I'd have known that you were trying to get a hold of some of that because I'd have sent some to you because they actually put that out in 16-ounce cans, which is
right. So yeah, Cigar City is really good stuff. I like their stuff.
Just, I mean, as long as they let it, are they going to keep the branding and the?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're just bottom out and just gonna let them do their thing, from what I understand.
Yeah, as long as they don't change anything, I really do like Cigar City a lot.
Yeah, they have some really good stuff. My buddy, my former buddy, he used to go to Florida every year, and he'd bring back some stuff from Florida, and one of them happened to be Cigar City stuff. So,
speaking of beers, I know I told you that I'm going down to Charlotte, North Carolina for the well, I'm going to see Entombed, but they're opening up for Amon Amar. And one of my favorite breweries is down there, but they're so small that they can't distribute outside of the area.
right.
Noda. And they're the ones who have Hop, Drop, and Roll, which if you ever look at like the top list of beers or anything like that, almost all of them you'll see Hop, Drop, and Roll on it. It's an IPA, obviously. I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna get they do those in 16-ounce cans as well, and it is a kick-ass IPA. But if you want, I'm gonna be bringing back a small haul with me, whatever I can fit in the trunk of my car. If you want to try one of those, I'll definitely send one up your way too.
I'm never gonna pass up beer. I think that's the new wave now is that everybody's gonna go to like 16 ounces, like a 4-pack 16 ounce and stuff. So I think that's the new thing now. So
I wish everyone would start canning beers unless it's in bombers. Well, it's so much easier to ship.
it is a lot easier. I have to agree.
And you load a can, you don't really have to worry about the daylight getting into or anything else.
I think that's one of the things I'm going to be doing this year. Is I'm going to be as soon as I get something in my area, or if I happen to go somewhere else and stuff like that, and grab a case of something, set some back for personal use, and then ship out some stuff for other people to try. I think that's going to be my thing this year. Is to do that. You know, pay back people that have, you know, help me out. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the cans really simplify things, though. Let me think.
And cans are a lot easier to ship.
It is, and I mean, and as far as storing them, obviously, you know, I mean, everything has to be stored dark, and you know, all the craft beer people are smart enough to put everything in dark bottles when they do. But you know, no light is getting through a can, so it's just a little bit less to worry about. You know, I just think it's going to store longer, and I don't know. I like cans. Always have. I mean, I know people think it's cheap and it's for trashy beer, but I prefer a can. And they crush up a lot easier when it's time to take out the garbage at the end of the week. You know, and roll your little can down, and your can isn't going clink 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 clink.
You know, I'm starting to get into the cans. I used to be the bottle snob. Okay, to where, you know, if it's not in a bottle, then I'm not gonna buy it, you know, type thing. But I would probably say that half my beer stash is probably bottles and cans, about half and half.
Well, that's pretty good. But as soon as the breweries start to use them more, I don't know. I mean, I think people will like it. A lot of my local breweries are doing it, and I mean, I appreciate it. One, I mean, it's easier to work with. It's easier for the trash. It's easier to ship. You know, and like I said, it's easier to store.
Right.
I mean, my beer I'm having right now, I picked it up while I was out running a bunch of errands about a week ago, and I had thrown it in the back with the groceries in the back of the BMW, and which, you know, has the window, the X5, you know, so sunlight can get in and everything else, and it's been warm as shit. I mean, it was 84 degrees here today.
Wow.
And, yeah, it sucked because I'm not ready for summer yet. But anyways, I went out there today to grab a couple things, you know, out of the trunk, and I'm like, shit, I forgot my beer back here. You know, it's been, you know, 80 some degrees, you know, and there I have this bottle of beer being exposed to the sunlight, you know, which, you know, luckily,
Right.
I mean, it was only a week, but I mean, I grab things, you know, at random times. I throw them in the back of, you know, the BMW or the Mustang or whatever, and sometimes I forget about them. I mean, like I found, I still have I have a bottle of the Bourbon Barrel, but I still have from before Christmas a bottle of the regular gingerbread stout from Hardywood that I just found in the back of the Mustang. I'm like, damn it!
Oops.
No, I'm like, score! I thought I was allowed.
It's like yesterday. We had tornadoes here in Springfield. So it was like 70 something degrees here yesterday, and it's like tornadoes. You know, I'm like, this is almost like a repeat of the year after we moved up here from Effingham. There was a big tornado that went through Springfield, and it was like, wow, history does repeat itself. It was just amazing.
Well, you know, we had tornadoes just a couple weeks ago. You know, I mean,
Right.
Virginia, we got trashed. You know, luckily my town didn't, but all around me did. And you know, now it's 84 degrees today, and they're calling for snow this weekend. It's like the weather's got fucking ADD here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always like that in Virginia. You know.
Yeah. But Mother Nature's got ADD.
Yeah. Well, we sit like right where the jet stream, you know, shifts. So we're normally getting one extreme or the other. So, but when the weather's nice, it's really nice. But yeah, 80. Like right now, it's what almost 10 o'clock at night, and I'm sitting outside You can see the screen behind me. You know, completely exposed the element. I'm in a tank top. I'm completely comfortable. No, it won't be like that this weekend. I'll be freezing my nuts off. Not cool. Actually, I wish it would stay like this. 84 degrees is. I don't like it a whole lot warmer than that. The humidity down here is terrible. But.
Oh, I know about the East Coast humidity.
Oh yeah, it sucks. But like the way it is right now tonight, this is perfect weather. I mean, I could easily be wearing. I don't know. It's not quite cold enough for hoodie weather. But I mean, I could have, a light jacket on or be sitting by the fire, whatever. But I'd be comfortable no matter what. It's perfect. I'd say it's probably about 70 degrees right now.
Here's another beer. I can't wait to get drinking on. I'm going to drink this one when I go on vacation in 2 weeks. It's the Bourbon Barrel Narwhal.
Who is that by?
Sierra Nevada.
Oh, okay.
It's the Bourbon Barrel aged Imperial Stout.
I didn't even know Sierra Nevada made beers like that.
Yeah, they do.
Pretty much all we get out here is their grocery store stuff, which, I mean, isn't the end of the world.
But I can't wait to get I got 2 bottles of those, and I can't wait to get my hands on one of them.
Well, it's kind of Sierra Nevada. I guess it's kind of like Sam Adams to me, and the way, like, in my expectations, and over the last year, my expectations have changed a lot. I didn't realize that Samuel Adams was putting out the amazing, 11.5% beers that they were, because I never, I just see Sam Adams, at the bar, and it's just, meh, whatever, kind of plain, nothing special. It was better than Budweiser, but it's not great. And then, I go and buy, their higher end beers. Man, they're pretty damn good.
Another one I can't wait to get my hands on. It's supposed to come out this summer. And I know you guys I don't know if you in Virginia can get it. But I know my brother in Pennsylvania can't get it. It's the New Belgium Fat Tire.
Oh yeah, we got that all over the place down here.
Okay. It's the 25th anniversary of the Fat Tire. And what they're doing, is they're doing collaborations with 5 other breweries. And I just saw this the other day. 5 other breweries, and they're going to collaborate on different things to do with Fat Tire. I think one of them is like a Russian Imperial Fat Tire.
That sounds pretty cool. That would definitely be a pack I'd pick up.
So what they're doing is they're putting together all these collaborations along with the original Fat Tire into a variety pack, and they're going to be it's going to be on the shelves hopefully this summer. So
yeah, that would be really cool.
I'm looking forward to that because that was truly the first craft beer I ever had was Fat Tire. Coming from Colorado, so
yeah, with you being out there, I think the first time I probably had one of theirs was probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, I'm kind of a long ways away in distribution.
Yeah, so. and their brewery in Asheville is supposed to be online pretty soon here. So.
Oh yeah, they do a brewery in Asheville, North Carolina, don't they?
Yep, and Sierra Nevada just put a brewery in Asheville as well.
Asheville's actually a really cool place. You'd probably like it there if you like the mountains. I love it down there. I think it's about 6 hours for me, but it's really cool. I used to drive that way, going back and forth from where I was stationed at Fort Campbell. That Ford
Fort
drive.
Campbell. My favorite fort, Fort Campbell.
I hated that friggin' place. Mm. It was like my own little slice of hell.
That's the same one in South Carolina, wasn't it?
No, Fort Campbell is 101st Airborne Division.
Right. What's the one in South Carolina?
South Carolina has Fort Jackson,
Fort Jackson.
which is mainly a basic training base. But yeah, I was there too.
I was there as well. I was there as well. Fort Jackson.
It sucked. Fort Sandpit. I was there in June and July, and I hate the heat. Miserable.
I was there April through August, and it sucked in freaking June because it got so hot in June and July that we can only do PT. They woke us up extra early so we can at
3
least.
a.m.
Yeah, they woke us up extra early so we can get at least PT in before the heat index just skyrocketed.
Yeah, they had their categories. It was like, oh no, it's Cat 5. You can't be doing outdoor activities, and they'd give you this crap called Victory Punch, which was like Gatorade with so much salt in it. Oh my god, it was the most disgusting crap in the world. Yeah, that place sucked too.
I just so many stories I could tell about freaking boot camp. I went in and when they had just integrated like guys and girls because it used to be separate.
You must have went in after me because we weren't integrated at all. I went in '92.
I went in in 91.
Yeah, because we were still segregated when I was in.
No, we were integrated.
In basic training?
In basic training.
We were in AIT, but not in basic.
We were in basic and in AIT.
That had to be weird.
Because I remember we weren't integrated into where obviously you're going to be in the same platoon, but we were integrated into where you had one company, you had Alpha, Bravo, and then Charlie, Delta, Echo, and maybe Alpha and Echo were like females, and then Bravo, Charlie, Delta were like males or something. But you were in the same battalion.
Okay, no, we were in the same battalion, but I mean, we didn't interact in the barracks or platoons or anything like that. Yeah, okay. When you said integrated, I thought you meant like training side by side, and I'm like,
no.
How does that work?
No, because it used to be one battalion was just strictly males, and then another battalion was just strictly females beforehand.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I would have liked integrated base. Well, I didn't. I don't think I would have liked integrated basic training.
Right. When I went in, it was like the battalion was mixed, but integrated, but not like in the same like platoon.
Yeah, we never trained with the guys when I was in.
No,
not until after basic.
We never trained with the girls either. So, but believe me, they always found a way, to get some guy, or the guys are always trying to get some girl or whatever. So
I don't know. I guess I missed out on that part of basic training. I was just probably too damn tired and too damn hungry.
I remember a couple of my buddies getting kicked out because they were caught with some chicks after hours.
How the hell did they do that? On fire guard duty or something?
Yes.
Well, they were definitely, creative, I suppose.
And then,
We were just lucky to sneak out and smoke a cigarette, you know. Like, did the drill sergeant flip anything around?
and I remember a couple times. I remember like we go like to what was it? We go to church or something, and the guys would like exchange like addresses, and they would like the girls were like, okay, you need to send your letter to this address. My friend at this address will send you a letter back. So
See, I never went to church either, so I guess I missed out on all the fun
that,
stuff.
that was the only time. That was the only time we got to meet the chicks. And I remember a couple of buddies of mine. They were just like, "Oh man, I got like 9 letters from all these girls and stuff." I was just like, "Damn."
I never did that. I never met a single guy in basic training.
The first girlfriend I ever had, I got from I met her in basic training.
I don't know.
Believe it or
The only thing I actually cared about sleeping with in basic training was like my M16. I was like,
yeah,
okay, I get to sleep in my weapon. This is awesome.
your military military issued M16A1.
No, I had an M16A2 when I was at
Okay.
Campbell, but I went to Fort Eustis for AIT, which I know you know where Fort Eustis is in Indianapolis, and that's actually where I got my first tattoo, believe it or not.
At Fort Sam Houston.
No, at Fort Eustis in no, not Fort Eustis. Shit, what's the name of it? Fort Ben Harrison. Why did I say Eustis? Eustis is in Virginia. Fort Ben Harrison in Indiana.
Okay. In Indiana, I was originally supposed to go to Fort Harrison for my AIT. Okay, but for some reason they closed down my particular AIT at Harrison. Okay, and shifted it to Jackson.
That sucks having to stay at Fort Jackson. I mean, I think at that point I'd have rather just gotten out. Just be like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm over this place. I hated it there. I was so happy
to be honest, my when I signed the papers and everything, it said after you're supposed to go to Fort Jackson, you're supposed to go to Fort Harrison. Okay. And that's where my AIT was supposed to be at Fort Harrison. Well, right in the middle of boot camp, okay, they're like, no, like at the end of boot camp, they're like, guess what? You're not going to Fort Harrison. You can stay here at Fort Jackson. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to be doing? Oh, you'll be doing something totally different than what you signed up for.
They did fucked up my paperwork like that too, and swapped up my MLS a little bit.
And I had my papers on me, okay? And I was like, I'm supposed to be doing this, but now I'm going to be doing this?
So what did you end up going to AIT for?
I didn't. I got out.
Okay. I was personnel administration, you know, because I thought maybe I'd like working in an office, you know, seemed like the right kind of job.
And that's what I was supposed to be doing too. I was a 75 Delta.
I was 75 Bravo.
We were basically paper pushers.
Yeah, but anyways, my job sucked, and I was supposed to go to Fort Bragg because I ended up getting the P supplement to go to airborne school.
Right.
And instead, I guess they didn't have a place for me down there. They dropped the P, and they gave me Fort Campbell, you know. So I mean, 101st, 82nd, not the same, but you know, I mean, at least I got to rappel out of helicopters. You know, I got to go through air assault school and all that stuff, which was a lot of fun. And but you know, once I got there and I was, you know, working with, you know, the infantry guys and, you know, all that stuff. You know, obviously a male-dominated division. I didn't want to be in the office anymore. I wanted to go out and play war games like all the boys. And, you know, they wouldn't let me do that. I tried to reclass to EOD, just, you know, because I mean I just wanted to be outside, and they still hadn't opened up a lot of MOSs for women. Not that I'd ever want to be in like a true combat MOS, but EOD, you know, seemed fun enough. You know, let's go blow shit up all day, right? And they wouldn't let me reclass because all of a sudden I was supposedly a shortage MOS, which I don't know how the hell that happened. But I pretty much told them to go suck a dick and got out. So that was that. And then I ended up taking skydiving classes afterwards anyway, so I still got to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. So it all worked out, man.
Yeah. I was just
being in the Army fucking sucked, dude.
I was like, you know, hey, you know, I'm being screwed. This is what my contract said, and they didn't tell me, well, we have the right to, you know, alter your contract at any time. Blah 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 blah.
It's
you know,
they can pretty much do what the fuck they want.
And I was just like, you know what? I'm out. Just get me out. I just couldn't do it anymore. You know, I don't like getting fucked. Okay, so at least without the Vaseline. You know, if you would have given me a little Vaseline, it would have been fine. Okay, but you know, it was without the Vaseline. So I was just like, forget it. Get me out. You know, I'll go home. I'll go back to working my freaking $5.50 an hour. You know, wrapping burrito job or whatever. You know, it doesn't bother me. You know, I was making more freaking wrapping burritos than I was freaking, you know, serving Uncle Sam.
You make more minimum wage than you make as an E1 or even E2 in the Army.
Yeah.
You know?
I was an E1, and I was just like, this sucks. I can't even pay my car payment because I had a car payment.
No, like, you can't pay anything. You can barely afford soap.
Yeah.
It's like it's all you can do to wash your ass.
I was sending like 9/10 of my paycheck back home, okay, so I can keep at least my car when I got back home. That's how bad it was.
I'm glad when I went in, I was young, and you know, like I didn't have any bills or anything like that. But I mean, I'm glad I stuck it out. I mean, being at Fort Campbell was a good experience for me. I spent more time in the field. My ex-husband was first to 187th Recon, and that's, you know, like frontline infantry. Pretty good stuff. I mean, not quite, you know, special forces or anything like that, but you know, I mean, still pretty damn cool. And I spent more field time than he did, but it was because I had to support every infantry division because I was stationed. My unit was the only signal unit for the entire division. I was always in the field, and you know, so I got to pick up a lot of skills. I got a lot of firearms training. We got to do a lot of really cool stuff. I mean, I can't lie. So, you know, the time I was in, I don't regret, but all the time that I did my actual job in the office was shit.
Yeah.
But I love being out, you know, I mean, I didn't even mind the road marches, you know, I mean, 12 miles one week, you know, 24 miles another week, you know, 4 to 6 mile runs. I was good with it. Honestly, I wish I could still do that shit now. I need to get my ass back out running. Thing is, I'm too lazy. I'd rather lift weights.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm too lazy. I'd rather be on the beer and bullshit show and just drink beer.
Hey, that works.
So.
Hey, one night a month for me to, like, you know, take off and hang out and, you know, drink beer and shoot shit. Hell yeah. Because, you know, I mean, I don't really leave the house very much. I don't know. I don't go very far. I don't talk to a lot of people. It's easier just to stay home these days, or go to the gym.
Yeah, I don't go out much either. I have a couple of guys from the other distributors. They're like, "Hey, you want to go out for for a beer or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then, that's like maybe once every 3 or 4 months or something. But I really don't go out much.
Well, my local craft beer shop is right beside my grocery store, and it's like 2 miles from where I'm at right now. So it's kind of convenient that, whenever I go out to, get my nails done, get gas, go to the grocery store, buy milk, whatever. Yeah, I just stop off and see my people there. But, my people there, I mean, the people that work there. A couple of the bar patrons, but I mean, it's always the same ones of us because, our weird little community, I guess, kind of like it is on the Beer and Bullshit show. You've got your special kind of beer nerds, and they all kind of gravitate towards one another.
Yeah. So I just opened up. What is this one? It's a Stone Pascal.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. I was wondering how that is.
It's a red IPA. So yeah, it's a red IPA. It's good. I mean, Stone never disappoints me. So
Yeah, I think that they're really consistent and really good in their beers, and I can't wait. I mean, their new facility right here in Richmond is getting ready to open up before too long, and it's going to be huge, and it's in the perfect location. It's going to be beautiful, and I can't wait, man. It's gonna be killer.
even though your tax money went to help build it,
It wasn't my tax money. It was the dumbass citizens of Richmond. Which, my mom was telling me something earlier today. I think that they're all most of the city council is going under investigation, which is a good thing because kind of like I don't know, kind of like Michigan or say Baltimore, the city administration there is a little less than clear and a whole lot less than shady. So that's going to be interesting in itself. Richmond needs a good turnaround. We've got a lot of good things happening here, and the last thing we need is the people that are running the city to ruin it. But yeah, no, it's I think Stone being here, regardless of how they got here, is going to be a good thing for Richmond. I don't think that how they got here was necessarily the right way to bring them here, but what's done is done, so you might as well enjoy it.
That's true.
More beer for me. But yeah, they did kind of screw a lot of the local breweries, but a lot of the laws here have been have changed. Before places that served alcohol had to have a certain, I think it was a 45% rule. 45% of their income has to come from food sales. Well, anyways, they ended up making an exception for that, which is good for the breweries, so that they don't have to serve beer or they don't have to serve food in house. So the breweries were able to get around that, even though breweries like Legend, they've been doing that for years. They've got full service restaurants and everything else. And now there's actually a whole committee, a whole movement going on here to try to do that for the rest of the bars, because we have a lot of high-end alcohol bars where, for example, an old friend of mine named Mac McCormick, he owns a couple of places, McCormick's Whiskey Grills and an Irish bar down in Shockoe Bottom near where I used to live. And some of his shots of whiskey can cost as much as $150 a shot. And he still has to match that food cost 45% to 55%. And there's no way with the cost of some of the whiskeys and stuff that he brings in that he could even begin, because he'd have to raise his food prices through the roof. So they're trying to get a lot of that changed here, but we'll see what happens. We still have a couple stupid alcohol laws, but at least we don't have the you can't sell beer over 5%, stupid shit like that.
You can't sell beer over 3.2%.
How dare you try to sell something other than Bud Light, goddammit.
We can force Miller and Bud and all them kind of companies to make 3.2% beer.
I don't know. The alcohol laws are ridiculous. So I don't know if are your ABC stores. Well, obviously not if you work for them. They're not state owned, are they?
No, oh no.
Okay, see, our ABC stores here in Virginia are still state owned. So we're trying to get that privatized too as well. But that severely limits the types of alcohol that you can get. When I was in Orlando, down in Florida last year, you could go into the privatized liquor stores and sample a scotch or a rye or anything like that right there on the spot inside the liquor store. What the, awesome. Man, I came back here with boxes of booze. Because I ran across so much stuff that was so good. And there was one that I found on the way back. I broke down on the Georgia side, right at the state line of Georgia and Florida. And, went ahead and rode out to the coast. My fuel pump went out of my car, naturally. And went out and there was a bunch of little places right there on the coast, and they had all these different like rye blends, but they were made to be kind of like old fashions, but they were already made that way in the bottle, and oh my god, they were delicious. And I wrote down the names, and I came back up here, and I'm like, can we get this? And pretty. And a guy at the liquor store up here is like, no, we can't. No, we can't get that here. You need to pick something else. I'm like, so you mean I gotta make my own shit? No, that's illegal too. But yeah, I mean, privatization. I don't know, kind of, I guess, going back to that.
And what these people don't understand is, like, a lot of people are like, well, if you privatize the state stores, we're all gonna lose our jobs. And I'm just like, no. In fact, you're not going to lose your jobs. You might get a pay raise.
Yeah. And you're going to get better booze.
And guess what? The prices on the liquor and the beer and all that kind of stuff you're selling is going to drop. Oh, the horror!
No. Not cheaper booze, not more pay, not better selection. Oh my god, I can't wrap my head around it.
Exactly. They don't understand competition is better.
I don't know. The level of stupidity sometimes. I mean, I guess,
unless they're Bernie Sanders fans, hey,
well,
but
and of course, they'll just take part of your liquor.
Yeah, they'll just like, we need 30% of that liquor. Hell no, you're not. That's my liquor. You don't touch it.
I don't know. Speaking of taxes and like good states to live in, not that I wouldn't try to not ever advocate Virginia, but if you haven't looked at Tennessee is great with like the no income tax. Their sales tax isn't bad. They got a lot of really good stuff going on in Tennessee. And when I was in Clarksville, after I got out of the Army, I worked down in Nashville for a while. And of course, when I was in, I always went down there. But Nashville, I don't know. Yeah, you have been there, haven't you?
Where?
Nashville, Tennessee.
I've been to Nashville, yes.
Yeah, Nashville's a really cool place, and I don't know, it's really easy to live down there. It's not too expensive, and I don't know, it's nice. I think if one of my reasonings for being in Virginia is I can go an hour, 2 hours and be in the mountains, 2 hours and be in the ocean, You know, I'm really close to a lot of big cities, but I have everything within like an arm's reach. You know, but if you don't need the ocean and things like that, you know, I mean, Nashville's kind of a cool pick too, you know. I don't know. I need to go back there and visit. I miss it there. I haven't been there in a while. I like places that don't tax the hell out of you. Plus, they have like 24-hour porn stores everywhere. I'm sorry. There was this gay friend I had when I was in the army. And he was all about this place. So we'd go down to Nashville, and there was a place called Madam X, and it was like right on the interstate. You could see it from everywhere. It was this gigantic 3-story super like Walmart porn store. And we'd go there on the weekend.
The Walmart porn store.
Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know. I hung out with mostly gay guys in the army. They were easier to deal with than GIs. GIs are a pain in the ass.
Well, so.
Well, I mean, I could go out with them for the night. And they weren't trying to sleep with me, you know. So that always was.
That's always the plus.
Especially at Fort Campbell, where the male to female ratio was like, I think it was like 150 to 1. And yeah, in my unit I had 550 people, and I think there was like 10 females. So yeah, you stay away from them boys, man.
When I was in the service, everybody wanted to go to all the guys wanted to go to like Fort Sam Houston.
Oh yeah, because there's tons of girls there.
Because I guess it was like 10 to 1 girls or something like that.
No, I got stuck in the sausage fest.
and a couple of my buddies are like, yeah, I need to make it through boot camp. I was like, why do you need to make it? I was like, okay, what's your purpose to make it through boot camp? Obviously, we all have a purpose to want to make it through boot camp. He's all like, because I'm going to Fort Sam Houston. And I was just like, okay, what's so special about Fort Sam Houston? He's all like, 10 to 1 chicks. I was just like, oh, really?
You're like, I should have picked a different MOS.
I was like, damn. I was just like, I'm stuck here at Fort Jackson.
I don't know. It was like that at Fort Ben Harrison too, though. Fort Ben Harrison was very female. I'd say probably 60-40, you know, which isn't as strong as Sam Houston, but still, it was very, very female heavy. But it was finance and personnel, so I mean,
right?
How many guys? I mean, half the dudes join the military to be infantry for some unknown reason, you know.
Like, to show off their macho-ness.
Well, I mean, I have to admit, their job was probably a lot more fun than mine was, as long as they didn't go to war.
Yeah, and I remember I was in a holdover camp because I decided I was gonna leave, and that's where I found my first girlfriend. It was in holdover camp, and we're sitting there and in one of the open rooms. That's what they called it. And watching TV or whatnot, and I guess like 2 other girls or something like were trying to pursue me or something. I was like, really, I'm not really a really good-looking guy or anything, you know. At that time, my wife's got like my old uh, army picture of me, and I need to repost that sometime. But um, I was just like, I had like a pic of like 3 different chicks or something, and I was just like, nah. It's like army chicks are like were like a hit or miss. All right, for some reason. Now Air Force chicks, okay. Navy chicks, no. Okay, okay. Marine chicks, no. Okay. Army chicks were a hit or miss. Okay, so
I don't know. That's funny. If I had like a nickel for every time, like you know, especially my boy, my man, excuse me, told me, "Why do you like me? I'm not that good looking." I'd be like, "Man, I'd be a rich woman."
I tell Yvonne that all the time. I was like,
I'm
what
sorry.
are you seeing?
I don't know what
What
to do with
are
y'all.
you seeing in me? And she's all like, "You're so hot." I was just like, compared to what? A blown up quasar or something?
That means she's in love. That's what it means.
I was just like, I'm like, I don't know, but uh,
Just
I,
be flattered.
you know what? You know what? It's just, I guess I guess beauty does come down to the beholder. Okay, some people think such and such is really good looking, and some people are just like, oh my god, that's ugly. So
It's like we talked about earlier. I mean, there's some people who think I'm pretty. There's other people who think I look like biker trash. And you like me, or you don't, you don't. I mean, I don't give two shits. I'm happy where I'm at.
and um, when I met Yvonne, it was just like we were both going through a lot of stuff, and it was just like, you've heard the saying, "One man's trash is another man's treasure."
Yep.
I mean, that's how it was. I'd been discarded by all these girls or whatever, and then Yvonne picked me up, kind of polished me up, made me brand new again. Just you know put me on a mantle and treasured me. So I mean, there was something she saw in me. So
That's pretty much all that matters. No, it's cute though.
yeah, I'm just not trying to make things sappy or anything, but that's how it was.
No, no, no. Trust me, I get it because, like I said, you sound exactly like my guy right now. You really do, and I think it's adorable.
It really is. I mean, it's just it's just something. And I've been married for um, near the end of the month, it'll be 16 years. So, and she's just, I don't know, she's accepted me. We've been through a lot of things, and there's always one thing that I mean, we'll go shopping, and she's like, "Do you need beer?" I'm like,
That's how you know she loves you.
I'm, I'm, I'm like, "No, honey, I'm fine." And she's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you need beer?" "Honey, I'm all right on beer." "No, you need more beer. We need to get you more beer." I
Oh
was
yeah,
just, I was
just
like,
go with it.
I
Go
was
with
like,
it.
I was like, "Hey, we need to get all this other stuff." She goes, "We'll find money for that. You need beer."
Hang on one second. I'll be right back. I got to grab my dog and I got to grab another beer. I'll be right back. Alrighty. The doggies had to go with you.
All right. Would you grab?
I just grabbed one of the go-tos. It's a is it showing up or my light's too bright? My Gonzo.
The Gonzo?
Yeah, the Gonzo.
Okay.
At a healthy 9.2. We all know I love my Hunter S. Thompson beer, my Ralph Steadman, and by God, my Baltimore breweries.
I saw a couple things from Flying Dog at the liquor store today. I was like, huh? I forgot
Which ones do they have?
We've got just about every single one that you've got.
I think most of them are pretty good.
I forgot which ones they were, but
I really like the Pearl Necklace Oyster Stout.
okay.
The Gonzo Imperial Porter I think is great. If you like a super hoppy IPA, Raging Bitch is awesome. Snake Dog is good.
The Raging Bitch, yep.
Yeah. Double Dog is really good.
Okay.
But their IPAs are all really, really hoppy, except for Bloodline, which is the blood orange.
The blood orange. You suggested the blood orange, and I went out that next day and got the blood orange. I was just like, I have to get this. My friend suggested it, and I actually liked it. I really did.
Which one was it that you had?
That blood orange.
Oh, the Bloodline from Flying Dog?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I actually like that.
Yeah, I dig it. Well, it's a little bit more citrusy. It's like I like the Grapefruit Sculpin. I think is probably one of my favorite IPAs. I don't know why. I fucking love that IPA. I like the pineapple IPAs. I like the blood orange IPAs.
I'm really getting into the tropical IPAs, the mangoes. The grapefruit sculpin is, oh my god, that's delicious. I've not had the pineapple sculpin yet.
It's good.
And I've not had the watermelon dorado yet.
I don't know if I've had the watermelon or not. If I did, it didn't stick out in my head.
Supposedly the watermelon dorado is really good.
I'll have to keep my eye out for it.
Yeah.
We have I don't think it qualifies as an IPA. Honestly, it almost is like a fruit juice. But there's a brewery out east of me called Avery, and I can't even pronounce the name of it. It's got some weird Hawaiian guy on it. It's a can. But it's a super fruity beer. It tastes like it's some sort of, I don't know, pineapple, mango, super island flavors. If you left it on the table, your kid would probably pick it up and drink it and be like, Mom, this is great. But I have to figure out what the name of that one was and send you a link to it. I don't know if you can get it out there, but man, it's good. It's going to be one of my go-tos come summer.
Okay.
It's friggin' awesome. But it doesn't taste like beer. It tastes like, I don't know, it doesn't taste like some cheap wine cooler or something like that either. It's happy.
I'm hoping by the time late April, May comes around, that I'm able to have weekends off. I'm wanting to get back into home brewing again. Normally during the summertime, I just load up with like session IPAs, Hefeweizens, IPAs, and stuff like that. I really want to get back into home brewing because I think there's so much more to do with beer. Okay, that's not done yet. So I've got a couple recipes in my head that I'd love to start brewing up and go from there. But I really want to start, spending some Saturdays or whatever home brewing, like one Saturday a month or something.
Well, I got my new kitchen. I got set up. I didn't have a gas stove in my house before, but I got set up with a 5-burner gas stove, which I know gas is obviously a lot better for everything. But my dishwasher I got set up with the high pressure bottle washers and things like that in it, and the sanitizers. So everything I'm getting set up in my kitchen will be conducive to home brewing. It's something that I've thought about, but I've never tried. But at least now my kitchen is probably 800 square foot. I have a massive kitchen. And that should be plenty for me to, and I do have several interior closets, where to store and ferment. And I'm hoping to give it a try. So if I need any tips or advice, I'll call you. Even though I expect for at least a couple batches to come out as complete crap, because like my ideas are probably equally as crazy as yours are.
Well, no, I've got an idea on one. Okay, what I want to do is I want to take a Hefeweizen, all right, and I want to get the liquid yeast, which is a banana clove. When you use it, it's a banana clove back taste to it. Okay, and I want to add honey, which I've done before, to Hefeweizen, but I want to add caramel to it, and it's almost like having a banana split without the ice cream.
So you could turn that into a nice beer float.
Almost. Almost. But what I want to do is if I can find a way to add a little lactose to it, then you would have your banana split with ice cream.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. And then make another version of it and nitro it, like a milk stout. That would be incredible.
So you're opening up a brewery in Virginia, right? No,
yeah. Right behind your house.
Hey, I tell you what, somebody did try to do it before. Did I tell you about that?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, that asshole tried to take the meals tax from town and open up a competitor pizza shop / brewery while taking the tax money from all my other restaurant friends in town. And I'm like, no, but a brewery behind my house does sound pretty damn good. But no. So if I say no to beer over taxation, I'm pretty serious about no taxation.
Right. But yeah, that's my ultimate goal, is to have my own microbrewery, obviously.
Yeah. Well, the one out west, a little bit west of me in Lynchburg, is kind of not the same thing, but it's a similar principle, I suppose. Not the banana split, but that does the Biggie S'mores, the s'more beer. And it's funny because they took a picture of Biggie Smalls and they put a giant s'more on his head, and that's like the label of the bottle, which is really cool. And it's delicious.
I found one today, and they made a nail, okay, and they added raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, and another berry, and they brewed it up, and I'm like, it kind of piqued my interest. I was like, maybe not this time around, but maybe next time I might pick up the 6-pack. So
I'd have grabbed it.
you know what? When you've got so many choices and you just kind of gravitated to just one or two, I was just like, well, I'm kind of running low on IPA, so I grabbed up IPA. So
No, it's nothing for me to walk out of the beer store spending $150,
see,
you know, and
I can't afford that right now.
it pains me if I go, and I really do try not to shop at Total Wine, but sometimes I just have to because there's certain things that my people just don't get. But I mean, my God, I mean, if I'm out of town at a brewery, I mean, it's like I know I need to bring at least $100 to $200 with me, because if I can't get it here, I'm gonna walk out with it. Yeah, it sucks, and I end up broke.
That's almost kind of like what happened with me when we went up to Three Floyds, which is a really, 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 really good microbrewery up in northern Indiana. We were on our way out to go visit my daughter when all that stuff happened, and I was like, well, I want to go to Three Floyds before we go visit my daughter. So we went to Three Floyds, and I told all my buddies, I was like, hey, do you want Three Floyds? And they're like, what are you gonna get? I was like, well, I'm gonna get some Alpha King, I'm gonna get some Gumball Head, I'm gonna get some of this stuff. And they're like, pony up money. They're throwing money at me, hand and fist. They're like, how much is it for a case? $40 for a case. They're just like throwing money at me, just like, oh, okay, all right. What? How much do you need and stuff like that. So I went up to Three Floyds, and they have a 2-case limit per person.
Oh man.
So
you and the wife had to go too.
The wife had to go in and get 2 cases, and I had to go in and get 2 cases. So, but we got our beer and stuff like that. It's 2 cases per person per day. So if I had to go back the next day, I could have gone back up the next day. But
I understand why they do that when it's in limited production, but still, it's it's a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the butt, but you know what? They make really, really good beer. Their Gumball Head is probably the best hoppy wheat beer I've ever had in my life.
I don't think I've ever had it. I don't even know if we even get it down here.
No, you don't get it. Boulevard makes a really good hoppy wheat beer. It's called the 80 Acre. I don't think you guys get Boulevard out there.
Yeah, we do get Boulevard.
Oh, if you come across the 80 Acre, grab it, because that is probably the second best hoppy wheat beer on the market, my opinion. So
yeah, see, one of the other things is,
if you don't get it, my distributor get it, definitely ship it to you.
Awesome. Yeah, my girl here,
because I do owe everybody some beer, so I'm going to ship you some beer this year.
I know you will. Like I said, I got a couple more.
And because I'm going to be making a little bit more cash, I can afford it. So
it's expensive as shit. It's expensive beer.
Oh, I know. I get it all the time on the Beer Traders group, on my Beer Traders group, which is I've got about 1,400 people on my Beer Traders group right now, and no problems at all. Everybody sticks to the rules. I've got to kick out some people sometimes for not following the rules, but other than that, I think maybe once every 6 months I gotta kick somebody out. But other than that, everybody sticks to the rules.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't ship out much. Because I mean, there's normally not too many beers that like I'm really looking for, and I don't have a lot of. I guess a lot of my friends that are out of state, like you, obviously you can get a lot of stuff that I can't, because of like where you're at in the country. But I mean, for the most part, I can generally find what I want, or it's close enough within driving distance for me to get. I don't fight too much with the people trying to get their West Coast beers. If I can't get it here, I'll get it when I go out there. But at the same time, I don't know. There's certain things in Virginia, like I said, like my Hardywood. Sometimes I just think people need to have it. Like, have you tried it? But and then more than often, the people that I think need to have it, they're within driving distance too, so I'm going to see them, so I just wait and I hang on to it and I stick it in the beer fridge. And then when I'm going to go up and see them, I just bring it with me.
Yeah.
Everybody calls me a beer hoarder. I'm not a beer hoarder, damn it. I'm a connoisseur.
And you're a snob. Come on now.
I am. I'm a total beer snob. I don't mean to be.
Which is not a bad thing. It's just that you just like good beer. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like steak, I mean, would you rather have, a sirloin from Applebee's, or would you rather have a bone-in filet mignon from Ruth's Chris? I mean, I'd rather save my money and not eat 5 crappy sirloins from Applebee's and get one amazing filet mignon from Ruth's Chris than spend a penny on a Budweiser and not save it up for something killer,
All right, well, I'm opening a 2-time stout by Southern Tier.
I had many, many, many of those.
I kind of like this one.
It's one of the better ones.
Really do. I really like Southern Tier. Disappointed by any other stuff.
I hate their creme brulee. Absolutely hate it. Their sweet beer.
Have you had the one this year?
Yeah, I had the one. Well, the one that came out. What was it? The winter or fall. It was so sickeningly sweet that I couldn't even drink it. No, it wasn't. It was January. But yeah, I thought it was way, way, way too sweet for my taste.
You know what, the liquor store that I normally go to, it still has gobs and gobs of that.
I didn't like it one little bit.
They can't sell it, and the chocolate or whatever can't sell that.
The chocolate's not as bad. It's tolerable, but I wouldn't spend money on it when there was something else to spend money on. I'd rather buy a mediocre IPA than buy most of the Southern Tier sweet stouts. Man, it's
Yeah.
to me it tastes like liquid diabetes. And maybe it's just because I don't eat sugar and I don't really do a lot of sweets, but I don't know. It's just it's overpowering for me. As I sit here and smoke my cigarette, complaining about the beer's too sweet.
Yeah. Oh well.
Take your poison, I guess.
And if you don't, and if the internet doesn't like it, sue me.
They can eat a bowl of dicks. So I thought Jim Dad was going to come on tonight. He's fired.
He said he was going to come on for like a half an hour or so, but I sent numerous invites, but obviously he's ignoring me.
That's all right. It's been kind of fun, just me and you. Are you eating your beer, or did someone just bring you food?
My son brought me something.
Aww.
So.
Yeah, I missed dinner tonight. I ate like 4 times today, so I guess it's okay. I'll eat a little bit more before I go to bed.
Well, I have Wednesdays off normally, but now that I'm going to this new program in a couple of weeks, they're going to have us work 7 days a week for a while until they can find merchandisers for the weekend. And then once we train those merchandisers for the weekend, they're going to give us weekends off. So.
I don't know. As long as you're getting paid hourly, I guess the 7-day work week isn't the end of the world. But
yeah, they're not paying us salary yet. I think they're gonna hold off on that for a while to see how things.
I think it's exciting for you, though. I'd like to be in the industry. The only problem with me is I'd much rather drink it than sell it. Oh, I know the girl at.
Well, I would rather drink. I would rather drink it than sell it too. But drinking it is not going to pay the bills. Selling it is going to.
Oh, I know. A couple people have talked to me about becoming a beer rep before, and I don't know. I mean, I'm really social with people that I'm comfortable with, and I've been a marketing rep before. I used to be a marketing rep for RJ Reynolds, and I mean, I do well when I need to, but I don't know. The world of craft beer, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be comfortable in that, so. Plus, I mean, having to drink with your clientele and, give out cool swag and hang out and all that, it kind of seems like going back to my 20s and, having 3 kids and trying to manage a grown-up life. I remember what it was like when I was, working for RJ Reynolds, and I definitely could not have done that with 3 kids. I mean, I got paid to go to concerts pretty much 6-7 days a week. That's all I did was hang out in bars every single night, not coming home till 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and you can't do that kind of shit with 3 young kids. And it sounds all good and fun, but I don't know. I'm actually, I don't know. When I get back home, I'm actually thinking about trying to go back into construction for a little while. Get me up early, keep me busy, let me do the stuff I like to do, let me drink beer at night, off on the weekends. And here I am over here with 6 years of college, and I'm like, I'd rather do construction than go do some sort of office job. Fuck that, Then again, I did get 6 years of college and then go get tattoos on my neck too, so I can't really bitch.
Hey, look at me. You know, shit. I've been, I've got a master's degree. You know, so and I'm do something that I really enjoy. You know, 4 years after I get the degree. So
I don't know. It's a lot better to be doing something you like than something you're miserable at. And, you know, if I got stuck back in an office again, I think I would slowly die. I don't think I would, I don't know, kind of lose yourself. My spirit was not meant for a cubicle. I'd rather be broke.
yeah, I don't know if I want to be broke.
Well, okay, I'm not saying I want to be broke, but I'd rather struggle a little bit than be miserable every single day. I'd rather struggle and be happy. I'm not going to be a
We all
slave.
got to struggle sometime.
I'm not going to be a slave to anything.
I would just like to have a job where I'm my own boss. Well, I don't have to answer to anyone.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've done pretty well for myself the last couple of years. I've made more money than my husband has. So.
Well, you'd have to because you're drinking all that good beer.
You damn Skippy. But no, I mean, when I say that, I mean by by doing so much work, like my house and things like that myself. I've been able to save huge amounts of money that I would have had to have been paying contractors and things like that I'm perfectly capable of doing and not having to pay out other people. So the money that that I'm saving and bringing in will bring me back a bigger return than working some slave job. So I suppose in my way, my own little way, sort of entrepreneurial, but I don't know. I'll figure out something else to do when I go back home. But it sure as hell won't be being in an office. And it won't be working for anyone else per se. And I'll still get good beer at the end of the night. Even if I got to make it myself.
That's all that counts.
And I'm putting in taps at the house too, so I'll have draft beer on demand. Just in case I don't want to walk 2 blocks down to the craft beer bar. I do sound like a total snob, though.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I listen to myself, and sometimes I think I sound pretentious, but I don't mean to be. I just try to make life as simple on myself as I possibly can. Ingenuity. There we go. Or laziness, I guess you could call it any number of things. What did that boy feed you? It looks like it had Quaaludes in it.
What was that?
What did your son feed you? It looks like it had Quaaludes in it.
No.
You look like you're falling asleep on me.
No, it was the Hot Pockets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh no. So it's been a long week, and I still got to work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They want me to take Monday off, and then I got to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then finally, Mr. Bennett gets a vacation.
How much of a vacation do you actually get?
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I gotta go back and work Saturday and Sunday, and then I start my new position that Monday.
That's not too bad.
Mm-mm. So I start my new position on the 4th of April. So
cool. I will be getting ready to move back home then. So hopefully the next year show I will be doing from my second story gazebo balcony in my wonderful house in Blackstone.
I'm having another show during my vacation, which is the 30th, and then we'll go back to 2 a month, and then during the summer, I think I'm just gonna do 1 a month because everybody's on vacation, no one's around, type thing. So
I could do the beer show from vacation. As long as I was in a place with Wi-Fi.
right, but I've been doing this for the last almost 2 years. Well, a little over 2 years now. I've noticed that participation kind of drops during the summer, and it kind of increases during the winter and spring, fall months. So.
Well, the gear is also better that time of year too. So.
That's true. That is so true.
But, I don't know. I mean, I think most summer beers in general are kind of boring. I'm normally looking for something like light and refreshing. I'm not looking for. In the winter, I'm looking for my really complex stouts and my bourbon barrels and my things with the really heavy, unique flavors. I think that's when the best beers come out.
And I totally agree with you, because during the summer it's like shandy this, rather that, summer ale this.
No, it's like Bud Light all summer long.
I'm like, no.
Or what is it, Leinenkugel or whatever the hell their name is?
Oh, the Leinenkugel, like the shandy and the grapefruit shandy.
Yeah, and they got the lemon shanty. They got every flavor shanty, and it's
right.
I mean, it's great. It's great for summer. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the beer. I mean, it's their summer beers I think are good. Their winter beers I think are absolutely disgusting and atrocious. But yeah, during the summer, I mean, it's perfectly acceptable. One, you're dehydrated, so you need a lot of water. So the lower ABV is probably good, but I don't.
See,
there's nothing exciting in the summer.
For me, I totally agree with you. For me, during the summer, if I want to grab something, I'll grab a Radler, okay? Because I like that lemonade kind of beer mix. But most of the time, I'll grab a session IPA or a regular IPA, and that's it. I don't drink anything but the IPAs during the summer. But then again, I'll drink an IPA during the whole year. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll drink an IPA all year round too.
But during the summer, I'll drink a session. And there's some good session IPAs out there. And I will drink a regular IPA. It all depends. If I'm, in the mood for, just getting blasted and freaking trashed, I'll drink an IPA. But if I'm just in one of those moods where I'm like, I really don't want to get trashed tonight, I just want to take it easy, I'll go grab a session IPA or something.
Well, I kind of have a guilty pleasure to admit to, and since there's no one else on here to hear it, and if anyone watches this far, um, well, I guess I don't really care because I don't really have that much shame. But I have a big thing for Mexican beers in the summertime. It's something, even Corona, Dos Equis, whatever. Uh, that light beer with the lime in it, it it works for summer, and it works for not getting drunk for one. You know, 'cause, I mean, it takes just 6 million of them to get, to even catch a buzz. But yeah, I mean, I really like those beers in the summer, and that's not the kind of beer you make a beer show around. It's boring.
Oh, believe me, I have not looked. I've not looked at the schedule, but I think there is a. Let me go grab the beer and bullshit schedule real quick.
Right, I'm gonna grab another beer too. Do you
All
have
right.
a Cinco de Mayo? So I can come on and drink my Dos Equis or my Pacifico.
Hey, Pacifico's actually quite good. We actually
I do
distribute.
enjoy it.
We actually distribute like 80% of the Mexican beers in this area. So
Now, Pacifico is my favorite Mexican beer. Well, that I've had, anyways.
well, there won't exactly be a Cinco de Mayo. I think we could probably make April 27th or the 5th of May our Cinco de Mayo kind of a show. So it all depends.
So we all have to drink Mexican beers, right?
If you want, because March 30th will be the next show, and then April 13th will be the next one. That's the one that we all should be really trashed because that's 2 days before tax day. And then the 27th of April, and then May 11th, and then May 18th, and then I won't have another one until June 8th. And then the next one after that will be the Portfest show on the 22nd. So.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna make this year too, which sucks.
Right.
I'm gonna be moving home. But that's a good thing. I've been out of my house for a long time, so. All right, I'm gonna grab a beer.
Okay.